What do you want to be when you grow up? That question has been asked perhaps for generations. I know that when I was a child, I was asked specifically that question, and I'm sure I probably answered something ridiculous like Superman or Batman or heck, maybe even Mickey Mouse because I was a fan back then. But as life went on, that question was posed to me over and over and over again. Now, I want to ask you this question. What do you want to be when you die? Where do you want to be? How do you want to be remembered? Now, I understand those are more than one question, right? But if you stop and think about it, the reason we ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the reason I'm asking you these questions of, what do you want to be when you die? How do you want to be remembered? How do you want to have lived? They all go hand in hand. You see, life is a journey. And truly, that's what Lesson 1 is all about. Life is a journey. The other day, I went to the store to buy some new shoes. And I figured I'll run in, grab a pair of tennis shoes, and walk out. Now, I don't remember the last time I bought a pair of tennis shoes. I know it's been a couple of years. But when I walked in there, I got lost. And I don't mean lost because the store was so big. I mean, it was relatively small, but I got lost because there were so many choices. There were so many types of tennis shoes. There were flat tennis shoes, supported tennis shoes, running tennis shoes, baseball tennis shoes. Who knew that there were so many types of tennis shoes? Like, seriously, growing up, I don't remember that many. But the reality of it is that as life seems to progress more and more, there are more choices. And you really have to stop and think about the choices that you're making. Journeying in this program, which you have decided to embark on this year, this confirmation program, is truly a very important choice. And it is a choice that you have chosen to make, perhaps because your parents forced you to, perhaps because they're bribing you to. I've heard it all. The reality of it, you still made a choice. You're making the choice to be here right now. Now, you may say I was forced, but the reality of it is you weren't, because you're paying attention right now. That's a choice. You weren't carried into this room. You weren't strapped down to that chair. You're here by choice. And choice is something has been given to us since we were first created. Adam and Eve were given the choice to truly decide whether or not to follow God's commandments or not. And that's where original sin came in, disobedience. Now, you may say, hold on, you just went from journeying and starting confirmation to original sin. Like, that's totally opposite spectrums. But again, it all goes hand in hand. Every single day we have a choice. When was the last time you woke up before your alarm? It rarely happens, right? When was the last time you hit snooze on your alarm? And if you're serious, you probably hit it about 3 or 4 times this morning. I know I did. But each and every time we choose to hit snooze, you're making a choice. A choice to delay your day by 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And then what happens? You oversleep, and then you start your day off wrong. But did you notice that every time that you hit snooze, you're actually starting off the day on a wrong foot? You may say, how is that possible? I'm only sleeping a couple of extra minutes. I mean, sleep is good for the body. Yes, but your brain has already started to work, and you're forcing it to shut down. You're starting it to work and shut it down. So why don't you stop a car every time you get to a stoplight? Well, because you'd end up damaging the engine, right? You waste more gas. The same thing happens in your body. Every time you hit snooze, every time you make that choice, you're wasting more energy. And in life, we often waste a lot of energy fighting things and chasing things in life that really don't make sense. That when you stop and think about it, you're like, okay, so I achieved this, but what was the point? Most of you are in high school. Most of you are going through times in your lives where perhaps the biggest choice you have is what movie I'm going to go this weekend, or which guy or girl am I going to ask out to prom, or maybe you're getting to those points of your life where you're starting to ask, what do I really want to be when I grow up? Do I want to settle down? Do I want to have kids? Maybe you're forced to make other choices. Peer pressure surrounds us each and every day. And that doesn't stop when you're entering into the church. Now, by all means, I'm not saying that you're receiving peer pressure within the church. It may happen, of course, from our own peers, but peer pressure is going to follow you wherever you are. However, no matter how much you may be pressured in life, the choice is yours. You are free to make a choice whether to follow God or not. What I hope you choose to do throughout this journey is to give yourself a chance. As I was mentioning, I went into the store to grab those shoes, right? And what I thought would have been a 5-minute purchase really ended up being close to 55 minutes. I tried on so many different shoes. I thought about how it looked. I thought about how I would use it. I thought about what clothes I would use with those shoes. And I really stopped to think about how this decision was really impacting many decisions that would come later on in life. And this is exactly what this decision that you have chosen to make today by starting this confirmation program, or by perhaps returning to the second year of confirmation with this program, is all about. The first step to this journey of faith. Now, finally, I walked out not only with one pair of shoes, but with two, because I couldn't make up my mind. And oftentimes, we see these buy one, get one deals, right? And that's really what happened. I mean, I saw a buy one, get one half off, and the half off price that I got was already discounted, so I was like, man, I'm getting a deal. But did I really? Was it necessary to spend that extra money? Do I really need a second pair of shoes? How many people go without shoes? How many times will I really wear both pairs of tennis shoes? How many times have I spent stuff or wasted time or wasted money or wasted energy on things that just really don't make sense? We live in a society that we're bombarded by so many things and so many advertisements, and so many things are competing for our attention each and every single day that it's no wonder why we're so indecisive. Not so long ago, I went out with some friends, and as we were driving, I asked them, hey, do you guys want to go out for dinner? And they said, yeah, let's go. I said, okay, well, where do you want to go? Well, I don't know, you choose. Well, I don't know, you choose. And that went on back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for 20 minutes. And so finally, I pulled into a restaurant that I knew none of them liked. And they said, no, why'd you choose this one? And they got all upset. And I said, because that's the thing. You didn't choose. And so oftentimes when you don't choose, you allow life to choose for you. You allow others to choose for you. But this decision that you are embarking on this year, this process of confirmation, is not a decision that you can allow others to take for you. You see, the whole process of confirmation, the whole purpose of it is for you to come to know your faith and then to make the decision that was made for you during your baptism by your parents and your godparents when you really didn't have a say. And now you do. The opportunity to choose for yourself what you believe in, who you believe in, and why you believe in this. What I hope that you get out of this next couple of months of preparation for this journey is truly an encounter with the living Christ. But you're only going to get out of it what you invest into it.